In a surprising and emotional episode of the popular podcast New Heights on Tuesday, June 17, Taylor Swift made a surprise appearance as a special guest. However, what made fans and especially brothers Travis and Jason Kelce drop their jaws was not just the appearance of the famous singer, but the moment she answered a surprising, and extremely cute, question from her father Ed Kelce. The podcast, New Heights, unexpectedly has a golden guest. This podcast episode was recorded in Cannes, France, where Travis and Jason were attending an international sports and media event. In the middle of the show, when Jason teased Travis about his increasingly serious relationship with girlfriend Taylor Swift, Ed Kelce, who is often loved for his humorous and sincere personality, suddenly walked into the frame with a very scheming smile. Travis immediately burst out laughing. "Oh, are you trying to break us up?" Jason raised his eyebrows. "No, I definitely have something on my mind. It happens every time." But what no one expected was that, after a few jokes, Ed Kelce turned to Taylor, who was standing off camera, wearing headphones and giggling, and asked, "Taylor, I'm asking you seriously. If one day, a little girl called you mommy, how do you think you would react?" The whole studio fell silent for a moment. Travis's eyes widened, and Jason exclaimed, "Wooah. Dad! Is that true?" The answer left both Kelce brothers speechless. Taylor Swift, always the one with the most graceful and quick-witted reactions, stopped laughing, tilted her head slightly, and gave a gentle smile. She stepped up to the microphone, adjusted her headphones, and said, "If that happened, and if that girl had Travis's eyes, Ed's stubborn yet affectionate personality, and could dance around the living room like Jason, I think my heart would melt. And I would call it the best song I ever wrote." The entire crew behind the camera let out a collective, "Ah," and Travis was almost speechless. Jason threw his hands up in the air and shouted, "Oh my God. This is the best answer of all time." Travis gasped, put his hand to his chest, and laughed nervously. "Are you sure this is a sports podcast?" Taylor continued, her voice trembling a little, but it was a happy vibration, not a pressure. "I know Ed isn't asking to force me or Travis. I know what you mean. And I think if I can call Kansas City home one day, raise a loving family, then I'm ready to say thank you because I found that from the Kelce family." At that moment, Jason completely lost control. He laughed and said to Travis, "You're done for. She sounded like a love song that you could never write." Travis Kelce, tears up. In the sweet moment. Although known for being humorous and strong, Travis was almost speechless this time. He nodded slightly, looked at Taylor with loving eyes and said, "That's an answer I would hear every day if I could." The atmosphere in the studio was unusually emotional, a rarity in New Heights, which is usually filled with laughter and banter between the Kelce brothers. Jason leaned back in his chair, wiped the corners of his eyes, and joked, "I might have to change the name of the podcast to New Heights, Taylor Edition." Fans went crazy. Social media exploded soon after the podcast episode was posted. Social media exploded with millions of views and thousands of excited comments. A fan wrote on X, Twitter, "Taylor Swift calls her future child the best song of her life. I'm not alive anymore." A TikTok account shared a clip from the podcast with the caption, "Ed Kelce asked one question. Taylor Swift answered one question. And Travis Kelce fell in love again."